next level performance, we're going to talk about the sales process, because no matter what pillar you're representing, whether it's licensing, franchise, business, there's always a sales process that has to be followed. In fact, what we've done is we've streamlined the sales process. There are no shortcuts. When we talk about the sales process, we don't leave anything to chance, right? This isn't shooting from the hip. When you have a prospect, this is a process that, if followed, your chances of success, which success really simply means you have a deal that's closed and funded, and you get paid a commission. It's following this sales process that really sets you up for success. So we're just going to break it down, and this is always good to go back and kind of review. That's why we post these meetings to the forum, so you can always go back and watch these videos, take notes. What I would like to see, and I'll probably let you know now, I'd like to have everybody participate in the meeting, meaning you want to have your cameras on. This is just like we're going to be in a live meeting. We're going to be seeing each other. I think it's more interactive. We get to see each other instead of just me sitting up here talking. I think that's more involvement, and I think it really takes our team meeting to the next level. So I'll be requesting that as of next week, that we keep cameras on, unless you're obviously not in a position to do so. I get that. Sometimes, you're not at a desk or one location, but ideally we want this time dedicated to information, collaboration, and training, give you the goods. So the sales process, it works if you work it. You've heard that before. So it's, again, no shortcuts. This is the streamlined process of the sales process. And, first things first, what do you need in order to start the sales process? You need to fill the funnel. You need to create the leads, the excitement. Now, you have some powerful names and some powerful businesses that people need to know about. The vending machine, the Kathy Ireland Kids. We have Final Mile Technologies. We have the mattress furniture business. We have Aloha. All I'm saying is we have something for everyone. You're going to see tonight. In fact, we're going to do a live meeting tonight over at Larry and Angie's house. You're going to see for the first time a showcase home. This is basically a home that is put together with one thing in mind: to sell it at a profit, to flip a home. And you'll see the design, and you'll see the quality of the way this showcase home looks, that it was really, you can make money just flipping homes. You stage them and you flip them. You can get above market pricing in real estate. So we're going to talk about Cozy Home because it's back with a vengeance. Setting up home dealers, giving them a catalog, giving them all the tools to go out there and make a phenomenal income with a home-based business. That's what Cozy Home's all about. So we're bringing that back very strong. It's just the timing's right. There's so much interest in this industry. So when we talk about filling the funnel, what does that mean? Well, we've talked about this previously. It's all about marketing. It's about setting up an ad account. It's about, they have platforms where you get 30 days for free, and it's nominal. So, $50 a month, let's say, you can post X amount of ads, but that's fills the funnel. That, if you need some direction on that, reach out to Brian or Aaron. They'll assist you on getting an account set up to start generating the leads, because that's when the fun begins, right? When the lead comes in, that's when you're taking somebody down that path, down that sales process. Any questions on filling the funnel, marketing? Pretty straightforward, because that's important. That's, there's two parts of the business, right? We've talked about it: marketing and selling. And I got an internet unstable. So what I'm going to do, Larry, here, I'm going to give you co-hosting duties in case I get booted off here. Go figure. If I get booted off, I'll come back on. So let's talk about, okay, first step, right? Fill the funnel and post. Post content. If you're good with words, if you're good with writing content, some people have more talent than I do in that. I'm the copy and paste master when it comes to ads, right? But if you can get creative, there is a plethora of information here that you want to convey. Now, what's the idea of the ad, right? It's not to sell the deal. You're not looking to sell. You're not giving them enough information where they're going to say yes or no. Oh, I'm interested. I'm not. No, the ad is designed to get them excited, motivated to get more information, name, email, phone number. That's the goal of an ad. It's not to sell. Again, no shortcuts on that. So let people know what you have available, and you'll find the people that get interested. So if you're good at creating content, then my suggestion is, get a ad account and start posting, start casting the line, right? Leads received.
If you're not,
go ahead.
Like John said, if you're not good at wordsmithing, you can just copy and paste ads that are already proven that have been pulling leads for years.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The simplicity of it. But once you get the lead and it's put in the system, right? It's put in Benchmark One. Now you have all the tools, the arsenal to get that prospect to take the next step, which is send them information. Now, the initial email is really just to say, hey, thank you for your interest in XYZ. And then you ask for them to fill out a non-disclosure agreement so you can share with them all the information. And it's just an intro. It's just an intro email. Again, we're not looking to give them the full Monty. You haven't even talked to them yet. You're not going to give them the email that has all the detailed information. It doesn't make sense because you haven't spoke to the prospect yet. You need a conversation. You got to find out if they're in a position financially, mentally to do the business. So no reason to go full ham on this until after the initial conversation. So that initial email, if you look in your email templates in Benchmark One, you'll see each business has an intro email, which is either an NDA or filling out a financial profile. And you still have other emails in there, which are the content, the good stuff, right? So here's an example. Kathy Ireland, thank you for your interest. We have prepared a detailed summary of this opportunity that includes complete description of the business and why it works. Fill out the confidential profile. Now, here's the reality. Most people will not fill that out. They're not disqualified, but they've got something that has our name on it, that they responded, hey, thank you for inquiring. It's that initial intro. That's all that first email does. Once you send that first initial email, well, then it's what's the next step in the process? That's initial meeting. So a couple ways you can treat that. Number one is you set an appointment. You get somebody on the phone. Listen, I was calling. You're interested in Aloha Laundry Life. I was going to set up a time to really get into the details with you. Is this a good time, or do you want to set something up for later today? Or whatever that is. Now, some people, surprisingly, if you have somebody setting appointments for you or you're setting the appointments yourself, lo and behold, it's amazing how many people show up for these meetings. It's something I say pre-pandemic, it didn't happen as much as it does now. People show up to these appointments. They feel obligated. So when you set an appointment, solidify it for that callback. Or if you have somebody that's booking appointments for you, you got to have your calendar, and then they'll set an appointment for you based on your availability. But once the appointment's set, great. Or they're ready to go into the presentation. You're ready to get into the meat and potatoes. And then you send that detailed email. Once you have that initial presentation, now what do you look for? You look for the 3 M's, right? That's not Motivation Monday meeting. It's find the motivation, the mindset, and the money. That's really that initial call is what you're really looking to do with this prospect. All right. This is, and I just want to let everybody know this is high level training. It's simple, but you have to work it, right? You have to work it to, it works if you work it. And then this is the detailed information. Let me go back there. It's an email. And you can, if you don't know the content of these emails, my suggestion is you go in there and do a deep dive. You can send the emails to yourself or just look at them on the platform. But not only do you have some good links here to a press release, you also have a phenomenal video here that was put together for the entire team. You have a little bit about Kathy Ireland and the power of Kathy Ireland. And there's a detailed pro forma, let's say. There's a PDF that goes through the entire business. Doesn't really get too specific on price for territories or opening up a retail location, but it's good information that they receive. Everybody with me so far? You tracking me?
Yes, sir.
Excellent. So that initial meeting, again, you're just checking the boxes. Once you have that initial meeting, now the next step is, right, send a proposal. They're interested. They love what they see. How much is it? How do I get a territory? Well, now that's the next step, is get specific on territory, price, and income. Now, income, what does that mean when we talk about income? A lot of times it's based on projections, right? And even though if we had realistic income numbers, you can't share them because it's not a good picture of what somebody else has done in the past. Does not mean that you're going to accomplish that. Remember, there's risk in any business somebody gets into. However, if they follow a proven plan that has worked for people before you, your chances of a success are increased. So that email, that proposal is pretty detailed. And I always say, have the correct format. And a lot of times I'll send it out from my business email, John at Advanced Licensing or John at cozykids.com. And I will copy and paste it into Benchmark One. So now I have record of what I sent the prospect. So believe me, I'm keeping copious notes through the sales process of every time I've connected, sent a text, sent a proposal, had a conversation. Everything is being documented in Benchmark One. I can assure you, you're going to need that information because you're not going to remember the conversation you had 4 days ago. You're going to have to look at your notes and say, oh, yeah, that's right. Now I know who this is. And it brings you right back. And that's going to be important. So the correct format, and it's about the details. And it's about why they want to get into the business, the benefits, right? Facts versus benefits, and links to important data. That's what you want to do when you send that proposal. You give them the, tofu and potatoes, right? Meat and potatoes. You got to give them the good content. Here's an example of a email that goes out to a prospect that wants a territory for Aloha. And if you see these highlights, these actually are links that go directly to that business website. There's a hell of an article for Colleen Unuma and Daniel Ellis in Planet Laundry. They can click it and watch it or read it. There's Aloha Laundry Life, the main website. That's where people go to book service. And there's the income calculator. Some people know how to work it. Some people don't. I always like to go over that with the prospect. So, but I put it in there. Some people can take the initiative and they know what they're filling out. But I'm listing everything about the business, the good, the bad, the ugly. It doesn't matter. Everything is detailed in this proposal. All right, stay with me here. I'm not going to have time to go into I say part 2 of the meeting here. But the sales process is that important. That's why I'm spending more time on this today. Once you have that proposal, there's a couple opportunities here. Number one is an opportunity to meet the team or the CEO of the company, where you can put Carol in touch with a prospect. You can put Larry in touch with a prospect. You can put Daniel Ellis in touch with a prospect. That's important. That's an important step. Now, sometimes Does a sale go through without that? Yes. I'm just saying that that is 9 out of 10 people will meet the CEO that will come on board. The percentages of meeting the CEO or owner of the company is very powerful. We do that usually with the Zoom call. Hey, how nice is it that technology, we get to meet our prospect face to face, right? Get the questions answered. I can assure you, each one of these owners, CEO, they know what their role is to move the prospect closer to saying yes. They know that. If you've ever, some of you have done meetings with Daniel Ellis or Larry Kozin, and for the most part makes a difference. So that's part of that. Okay, but don't have the meeting before they get the proposal, right? Before they get the contract. Doesn't make sense. That's just that one step that really solidifies it. Once they have that meet the team or meet the CEO or meet the owner of the company. And of course, the next step is send the contract. Once they're ready to go, the deal points are worked out, the territory's right, it's sent via DocuSign for signatures. So here's what happens. They get a copy. They sign it. The CEO signs it. They get a copy for their records. At that point, now they actually get, I say, the next important step is they get the signed contract, the invoice. They get an invoice via email to pay direct wire, bank wire, ACH, sometimes credit card, but that's an important step. So I say, yeah, getting the deal signed. Great job, Naomi. I don't know if she's here today, but we had a couple of contracts go out for signature this weekend. Once it comes back signed, now they get an invoice for the amount, they fund it, and then that's generates the commission. That's the most important part for you. And most times when you're at this point and they're on board, you can stay in touch with your licensee. You can keep them plugged in to what the company's doing, any company events, webinars, meetings online. You keep them plugged in, even though the company will keep them plugged in once they're in the system. Once they're on board, they'll get that communication. However, there's been many times where a licensee purchased another territory, not only with the same company, but we've had many examples of people that have purchased another license for another business in our portfolio. So, it's the gift that keeps on giving. That's right. The idea of keeping people plugged in, right, Larry?
Yeah. Plus, we've had many deals where they refer friends and family. So you start out, with cold marketing, generating leads, and now you have a client that's a relationship, and that relationship believes in what we're doing because they invested their own money, and now they'll help you get warmer leads because their referrals. What we found, the closing rates when you get a referral from one of your clients is many times greater than the leads that you're developing through marketing.
Yep. Perfect.